Hi, Jared.
Hi, Alicia, and welcome everyone to Vibrations and Manifestations. Uh, we're really excited today because we're kicking off something a bit special, a new series.
Yeah, we are over the next, 4 deep dives, episodes 32 through 35. We're going to be tackling some really common ideas, maybe misconceptions out there. We're calling it our myth-busting series.
Exactly. And for this very first one, episode 32, we're jumping right into a big topic,
Mhm.
money. The title is Manifesting Money, 5 Myths That Keep You Broke Energetically.
Mm-hmm. It's a topic that, let's face it, has a lot of noise around it. So many different teachings, different techniques. Sometimes it feels like they almost contradict each other.
Totally. So our goal today is really to, unpack some of the most persistent misunderstandings, clear out some of that energetic clutter, you could say, help you really align with the financial well-being that's actually available.
We want to really explore the energies involved, not just repeat platitudes.
It's interesting, isn't it, how sometimes advice, even if it's well-intentioned, can get twisted or applied in a way that actually blocks you.
Totally.
Good.
So we're hoping to give you a more maybe insightful lens to view your own journey with financial abundance.
Sounds good. And today we are diving deep into something I think what a lot of us wrestle with.
Yes.
Money.
And specifically, some of those really sticky myths around manifesting it. You know the ones.
Oh, I do. Because, if abundance is supposed to be our birthright, right?
Yeah.
That's what we hear. Then why?
Hmm.
Why does it feel like there's this huge gap sometimes between that idea and, well, what's actually in the bank?
Exactly. That disconnect. So let's maybe try and unpack some things that might be keeping us, feeling stuck there.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Maybe we can kick things off. I had this week recently that felt like, honestly, like the universe was just testing my sense of humor about finances.
Uh-oh. Sounds ominous.
Right. So the car decided it needed like a very expensive nap at the mechanics.
Oh, no.
Then this medical bill just poof appeared out of nowhere, it
Right.
felt like. And on top of that, my fridge was basically an empty white box, like minimalist art gone wrong.
Wow. Okay. That's a trifecta.
Totally. And I was trying,
Yeah.
doing all the right things. I had affirmations going, money flows easily and effortlessly to me on repeat.
Yep. Know that one well.
Uh-huh. I even tried sending some good vibes
Yeah.
towards my bank app, which was looking increasingly sad. But
Oh.
honestly, underneath all that trying to be positive stuff, I was feeling pretty stressed and just drained.
Yeah, that pressure to keep the vibe high when things feel low, it's tough.
It really is. So then my mom calls, just her usual, how's it going, check in, and my autopilot kicks in immediately.
Exactly. Everything's great, Mom. Couldn't be better.
Yeah.
Are you really okay?
Mom radar, totally. And in that moment, something just gave way. I didn't fall apart, but
Yeah.
I admitted it. I said, Mom, honestly, a little help with groceries this week,
Yeah.
that would be a huge relief.
Wow. That takes courage, though, to actually say it.
It did. And you know what she said? Her response just floored me.
What was it?
She sounded so genuine. She
Mm.
said, oh, honey, thank you for telling me. I've been wanting to do something. I'm so glad you let me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I just started crying right there on the phone. And it wasn't just, relief about maybe getting some food. It was this huge wave of just love
Hmm.
and support.
Yeah.
It really felt like the universe just showed up where my mom's voice,
Yeah.
And honestly, the fact that she felt good being able to help, that
Yeah.
was like this whole other layer of connection. It felt really good for both of us.
That's huge, the reciprocity of it.
Exactly. And here's the really wild part. That same week, it was like damn broke for good stuff too. I found a $50 gift card just tucked away in an old birthday card I'd forgotten about.
No way.
Yes. Then I got this random refund notice for a bill I'd apparently overpaid months ago.
Okay, the universe is listening now.
Right. And then, totally out of the blue, I landed a new coaching client, completely unexpected. And all of this stuff, all these little financial blessings, they happened after I stopped pretending and just admitted I needed a hand.
Wow.
So the big takeaway for me, I guess, is wanting support, even money support, it doesn't mean you're failing at spirituality or something. It doesn't make you greedy or unspiritual.
Not at all.
In fact, allowing yourself to receive and doing it with real gratitude, that feels like a spiritual practice in itself. It's remembering we're all connected, right?
Yeah.
Giving and receiving. It's this flow. It's abundance actually happening.
It really reframes vulnerability, doesn't it? Not as weakness, but as opening a door.
Yes,
Yeah.
opening a door. And maybe recognizing that vulnerability is a strength in this whole manifestation game. And gratitude, actual gratitude for help received, really starts to crank up that feeling of abundance. Like,
Yeah, what's so striking about your story is how it just flies in the face of that myth, you know? The one that says needing help, especially financially, means you're doing something wrong spiritually, or worse, that it's somehow greedy.
right.
And it connects to that bigger cultural thing, doesn't it? This idea that we have to be fiercely independent all the time, maybe, maybe sometimes to our own cost. Makes you wonder where that discomfort with receiving even comes from.
Totally. It's deep-seated, I think.
Well, my own recent financial adventures had a similar kind of theme, actually, a bit of a
Oh.
plot twist.
Oh, yeah. We've got it.
I had one of those weeks too, where my bank account decided it was going for minimalist chic.
Oh, I know that look.
Yeah, rent was doing its looming thing, you know. My car registration was basically yelling at me, with late fees attached, of course.
Of course, adds insult to injury.
Exactly. And the grand total in my checking account had dipped to, wait for it, $11.37.
Oof. That's specific and painful.
Right. It sounds like the title of a really sad indie movie or something. $11.37.
It really does.
So naturally, I was deploying the full arsenal. Manifestation techniques galore, visualizations, so detailed I could practically smell the new money.
Uh-huh. Been there.
EFT, tapping on the meridian points, did loads of that. High vibe playlists on repeat, probably driving my neighbors nuts.
Uh-huh.
I even wrote myself one of those big checks for a ridiculous amount, trying to channel my inner Jim Carrey back in the day.
The classic. Did it work? Well, immediately.
Well, beneath all the, the manifesting swagger, the anxiety was definitely bubbling. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's okay.
And then I just kind of stumbled across some info about our local food co-op. They have this community pantry program.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like free groceries available to anyone in the community who needs them.
No.
No questions asked, no strings.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. But the old me, the me that was super focused on, I have to be independent, I have to keep my vibe high at all costs, that me would have just recoiled, like physically backed away. I would have thought, no way, taking that means I've failed. It'll totally tank my vibration. You know that whole idea of your energetic state?
Oh, yeah, the don't acknowledge lack trap.
Exactly. But something felt different this time. Maybe I was just tired of pretending,
I get that.
So I went. I actually went. And I accepted a bag with some bread, some veggies, a couple of cans of beans, simple stuff.
And how did that feel? So, like, you've feared lowering the vibe.
That's the craziest part. Walking home with that bag, I felt this incredible, like, genuine sense of abundance.
Really? Not shame or failure?
No, none of that. It wasn't about money suddenly appearing, obviously. It wasn't about getting stuff. It was the feeling of being cared for, of allowing support in. It felt like a different kind of wealth, a richness of, I don't know, community, connection.
Wow. That's profound, actually. Connection is abundance.
It really made me stop and think, why do we tie needing help so tightly to failure? Or to our manifestation efforts not working, or even like our basic worthiness.
Yeah.
And what hit me was that raising your vibration, that true high vibe state, maybe it isn't about forcing happiness or like denying that things are tough.
What is it then?
Maybe it's about being real, meeting yourself right where you are with total honesty, and then seeking actual relief, even if that relief looks like a bag of groceries from the co-op.
Accepting help is a form of self-care, almost.
Yeah. And it felt like the universe, or whatever you call it, really responds to that honesty, that self-acceptance, just acknowledging your needs. That feels like a much higher vibration than trying to paste on a smile when you're actually struggling.
I love that. Self-acceptance is a higher vibration. That really resonates.
Yeah.
Right. So the mission today is really to unpack the core ideas, maybe distill some key principles, and give you, our listeners, some tangible steps. Steps to shift from that feeling of scarcity, that not enough feeling, towards, well, a genuine sense of abundance.
And it's interesting, right from the get-go, you see different angles. Like some teachers really focus on getting your inner world straight first, your thoughts, your feelings, get aligned, then things happen.
Right. And others, they put more emphasis on, like, actively prepping your mind. Visualization, mental rehearsal, that kind of thing is a really key part of it.
Which leads us perfectly into our first myth.
Okay, let's do it. Myth number 1. Money is just energy, so I don't need to take action. It sounds nice, doesn't it? Just vibe high and wait for the delivery truck.
Yeah, if only it were always that simple. But yeah, our sources suggest it's a bit more nuanced. Take Abraham, for example. Their whole thing is really about vibrational alignment being primary.
Okay.
The core idea is that if you take action when you're feeling lack or scarcity or fear, well, that action often just spins your wheels. It doesn't really get you anywhere because the energy behind it is off.
So you got to feel good first. Get into that state of abundance before you do anything.
Pretty much. Get your vibrations sorted, feel that alignment, and then the right actions, what they call inspired action, just sort of bubbles up naturally. It feels easy, not forced.
So maybe focus on abundance in other areas, like nature, love, things you do feel good about to get that general feeling going.
Exactly. Abraham Hicks talks so much about alignment, getting your vibration aligned with what you want.
They really do. And they point out how if you have this underlying belief that money's hard to come by or it doesn't flow to you,
Right.
that creates resistance.
Resistance, right.
Yeah.
That's the key word.
It is. Hicks says, true alignment isn't just thinking happy thoughts. It's about the absence of that resistance. So you got to ask yourself, like, what thoughts or beliefs cause friction when I think about having more money?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Dealing with that resistance.
Yeah.
That's where the real work is.
Makes sense. Abraham even suggests sometimes softening your focus on the word money if it feels heavy, and just tuning into prosperity in a broader sense. But then you've got approaches like Silva or Dispenza.
Right. They seem more focused on the mind's active role.
Yeah, they really emphasize mental rehearsal. The idea is that you're preparing your mind, even your body, for the experience of having what you want. It's like you're training yourself for the reality you want to create.
Like Silva's 3-scene technique, maybe. Visualizing it done. And Dispenza talks constantly about feeling the future emotion now.
Precisely. And what's super interesting is how this ties into brain science. Mirror neurons. Our brains kind of simulate actions we see or even just imagine.
Oh.
So, mentally rehearsing, receiving money, or hitting a goal, you're actually starting to wire your brain for it, activating the prefrontal cortex, sharpening focus, making better decisions when the actual opportunity arises.
So the takeaway isn't don't act. It's more about the quality of the action. Is it coming from fear or from alignment?
You nailed it. It's that difference between like anxious hustle and, well, maybe aligned hustle. Action that feels right, inspired. It's sacred almost.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's recap myth 1.
Yeah.
It's not no action. It's about aligned action that flows from a place of feeling good first, possibly prepped by mental reversal.
Exactly. Now, myth number 2. This one digs deep for a lot of people. If I want more money, I'm being greedy or unspiritual.
Oof. This one is so loaded, isn't it? So much judgment tied up in it. Society, maybe family, even ourselves.
Totally. It definitely gave me pangs of guilt when I started focusing on wanting more financially. Felt selfish.
And the key reframe here, I think, is seeing that money itself is neutral.
Right. It's just a tool.
Exactly. It's an amplifier. It amplifies generosity. It can amplify greed. It can build schools. It can fund wars. The money itself doesn't have morals.
It's the intention behind it, the actions of the person using it.
That's where the weight is. So wanting more money doesn't automatically make you greedy. It's about why you want it and what you plan to do.
That makes a huge difference in how it feels.
And, neurologically, having enough resources, it massively impacts our well-being. It gives you choices, safety. It can actually, regulate your nervous system.
Oh, absolutely. Think about the constant stress of financial worry. That low-grade hum of anxiety.
It keeps you in fight or flight, right?
Yeah.
So easing that stress with more financial ease, it frees up so much mental and emotional bandwidth for creativity, connection, better things.
So important. When we feel safe financially, our bodies can relax. We can actually receive more.
Exactly. So wanting more money can be about wanting freedom, security, the ability to give back more. It's about the energy driving it, not the dollars themselves.
Makes perfect sense.
When you're not constantly in survival mode about bills, you have more bandwidth for everything else.
Absolutely. When your nervous system feels safe, you're naturally more receptive. So the reframe is key. Money is neutral. Your intention matters, how you use it. But wanting support, wanting ease, that's human. It's okay.
Okay, recapping myth 2. Wanting money isn't inherently greedy or unspiritual. Money is neutral. Receiving support and abundance is okay, even spiritual, especially when met with gratitude. It allows for safety and choice.
Nicely put.
Okay, this feels like a good moment to pause and maybe invite you, the listener, to try something. If you're somewhere you can relax for a moment, maybe just gently close your eyes.
Take a nice, slow, deep breath in and just let it go. Let go of any tension.
Now, just gently bring to mind a limiting belief you might hold about money. Maybe it's a thought like, it's always a struggle, or I'm just not good with managing it, whatever it is for you.
Just notice it. No judgment. Like you're just observing it.
Imagine this belief is like a dark cloud floating in front of you. Notice its shape, its feel.
And with each slow breath out, just imagine that cloud starting to soften. Maybe the edges blur a little.
See the darkness fading. Imagine gentle sunlight starting to break through, dissolving the cloud.
Feel a sense of lightness as it dissipates, making space.
Take another deep breath in. Feel the warmth of that light filling the space. And as you breathe out, release any last traces. Imagine a clear, open sky now.
Just stay with that feeling of spaciousness for a moment. And when you feel ready, you can gently open your eyes.
That felt good. Just a gentle release.
Okay, myth 3. This one causes a lot of stress. I have to be high vibe all the time to attract money.
Ugh, the pressure. Like you have to be this perfect beaming ray of sunshine 24/7 or you're messing it all up. It's exhausting. And let's be real, impossible.
Totally impossible. And it sets you up for failure and guilt when you inevitably feel, well, human emotions like sadness or frustration or just blah.
Like you're a walking magnet and one dip into frustration or sadness just repels everything.
But Abraham Hicks actually has a more, well, realistic take, right? It's about momentum.
Yeah, exactly. They talk about the overall momentum of your vibration. It's not about being perfect. You don't need like perpetual bliss.
Thank goodness.
It's the general trend. Think of
Yeah.
it like flying a plane. You hit
No.
turbulence, right? Doesn't mean the plane crashes as long as the overall direction is up.
That's a great analogy. And Joe Dispenza talks about emotional coherence, but also, importantly, compassion for wherever you are emotionally. It's okay to not feel amazing 24/7.
It's crucial. This idea gives you permission to just be human.
Mhm.
We feel things, anger, sadness, frustration, trying to stuff those down.
Yeah.
That actually creates more resistance.
More static in the signal.
Exactly. Way more than just acknowledging, okay, I feel frustrated right now.
You mentioned feeling guilty about being frustrated with bills. How did accepting that feeling help you?
Well, it was kind of weird. I was beating myself up for not being positive about the bills, which just made me feel worse.
Doubling down on the negativity.
Totally. When I finally just let myself feel it, like, okay, this is frustrating and that's valid without judging myself for it, it was like, poof, some of the pressure released, the energy started moving again.
So recognizing the blockage allowed the flow.
It seemed like it. Trying to force high vibes when you're genuinely not feeling it, it's less effective than just accepting where you are and then maybe gently looking for a slightly better feeling thought.
Not a huge leap, just a tiny step up.
Exactly. And that self-acceptance, embracing your whole self, emotions and all, that actually raises your authentic vibration more than faking joy ever could. You're not pushing abundance away by being real.
Honesty, self-acceptance, that often raises your vibration more than forced positivity.
It was such a lesson. You don't repel abundance by being human.
Exactly. The big reframe for myth 3. You don't need constant high vibes. It's about momentum and self-acceptance. Allowing yourself to be where you are, honestly, is often the most powerful move. Okay, before we go to the next myth, let's introduce a little something we call manifestation debug mode.
Yes. Love this. Think of it like running diagnostics.
Exactly. It's a way to find those hidden blocks, those limiting beliefs that might be like messing with your abundance signal.
Clearing out the static, finding the glitches in your programming, things running in the background you don't even realize are there.
And often, those glitches, they're these sneaky myths we've been talking about, old beliefs we picked up somewhere.
Right. So let's switch on manifestation debug mode for myth number 4.
Okay, activating debug mode. Myth 4. If I'm not rich yet, I must be doing it wrong.
Ah, the self-blame special. This one is brutal.
Isn't it? You try everything, you read the books, you do the workshops, and if the millions haven't landed yet, you think, it's me, I'm failing.
It creates this really toxic shame loop. Instead of thinking, okay, maybe I need to tweak my approach or check my alignment, you just feel inadequate, like a personal failure.
Which ironically just lowers your vibration more, creates more resistance.
Exactly.
It's this loop of self-blame, doubt. What's wrong with me?
It's counterproductive because it just creates more resistance.
Yeah, it takes you right out of the receptive state you're trying to cultivate. The core insight here seems to be that your current bank balance isn't a grade on your manifestation skills. It's just data, information.
Exactly. It's an invitation to maybe gently tweak your focus. This myth, I must be doing it wrong, that's the thought glitch. That
Yeah.
feeling of failing, of not measuring up.
Got it. The glitch. So, the debug protocol. First step, Just notice the glitch. What's the exact thought? I'm no good at this.
Mhm.
Everyone else gets it but me. Just see it, acknowledge it, no judgment.
Okay.
Then we install the reframe patch. This means consciously choosing a kinder, truer thought, something you can actually believe right now, even if it's small, like the pivot technique Abraham talks about. What's the next better feeling thought available?
So maybe not I'm magically rich, but something like I'm learning or I'm figuring this out in my own time.
I'm learning and growing. Every step is progress.
Yep.
Something gentler. That small shift can be enough to break the shame loop and let your natural abundance signal get through again. You're just rewriting a bit of code.
Okay, recapping myth 4. Not being rich yet doesn't mean you're failing. Debug the self-blame glitch by noticing it, then install a reframe patch with a kinder, believable thought using the pivot technique. It's about progress, not perfection.
You got it.
Okay.
And that brings us to myth number 5. I'll feel abundant after I have more money.
Ah, yes, the classic I'll be happy when trap. Putting the feeling contingent on the external result, it seems logical, but backward, isn't it?
We postpone the feeling. Abundance becomes this future destination, only reachable once we hit X income or Y savings number.
It's such a common way to think, but Abraham Hicks really flips this on its head.
Feel it now to attract it.
Exactly. You have to become the vibrational match for abundance first. Embody that feeling in the present.
And science actually gives us clues here too, right? Like with gratitude.
Absolutely. Research shows gratitude literally rewires your brain. When you practice feeling grateful for what you already have, your brain, specifically that RAS we mentioned,
The reticular activating system.
yeah, it starts actively looking for more things to be grateful for, more evidence of good stuff, including opportunities.
So feeling abundant isn't the prize you get at the end. It's the key that unlocks the door in the first place.
That's a great way to put it. In Silva, Dispenza, they talk about combining visualization with elevated emotion.
So clearly picturing the abundance, but also really feeling the joy, the relief, the gratitude as if it's already here.
Yes, that combo creates a really strong signal. You're aligning your thoughts and your feelings, creating that quantum alignment.
You mentioned how focusing on small gratitudes shifted things for you. Can you share a bit more on that?
Yeah, it wasn't like overnight riches, but I made a conscious effort every day to notice and appreciate small wins. Finding a great parking spot, someone holding the door, an unexpected discount, finding $5 in an old coat.
Little things.
Little things. It wasn't about the dollar amount. It was about training myself to feel appreciation, to recognize the abundance already there. And slowly, genuinely, I started noticing more opportunities showing up, unexpected income streams. Things started flowing better.
So cultivating that feeling now, even for tiny things, builds the neural pathways
Mm-hmm.
and the vibrational frequency for more.
Exactly. It's an inside-out job. Abundance isn't just the bank balance. It's a feeling state. Fullness, appreciation. You cultivate that, and the external stuff starts to reflect it. Abraham is super clear on this. Feel it now. Cultivate the feeling of abundance, prosperity, ease, whatever word resonates in your present moment. That feeling is the attractor.
Studies show practicing gratitude literally rewires your brain. It makes you better at noticing positive things, opportunities, which, often leads to more tangible abundance.
And Silva and Dispenza come back in here too, right? With the visualization plus the elevated emotion, you see it and you feel it as if it's already real. So the reframe is crucial. Feeling abundant now isn't pretending. It's building the energetic and neurological foundation for more to come. You got to feel it to see it, essentially.
Precisely. Cultivate the inner state, and the outer reality starts to reflect it.
Let's quickly recap those myths we busted. Myth 1 we touched on, money's just energy, so no action needed. The reframe.
Aligned action is sacred. Think aligned hustle, not anxious hustle. Crucial distinction.
Myth 2, if I want more money, I'm greedy or unspiritual. What's the reframe for that?
Money is neutral. It's an amplifier. It just magnifies what's already there, the energy you put behind it. Wanting to do good, have more impact, that's not inherently unspiritual.
Makes sense. Myth 3, I have to be high vibe all the time to attract money. That feels like a lot of pressure.
Right. Their reframe is so freeing. You're not repelling abundance by being human. Self-acceptance actually raises your vibration more than trying to fake joy. Authenticity matters.
Oh, I like that. Okay, myth 4. This one hits home for many, I think. If I'm not rich yet, I must be doing it wrong. The reframe.
It's not a personal failure, it's an invitation to recenter. Use that pivot technique. Just find the next slightly better feeling thought you can reach for right now. Small shifts.
Gentle course correction, not self-blame. And the last one, myth 5. I'll feel abundant after I have more money.
And the reframe flips it. Feeling abundant now creates the neural and vibrational foundation for receiving more. The feeling comes first. It prepares the way.
That aligns perfectly with what Dispenza says about gratitude, doesn't it?
Absolutely. He calls gratitude a magnet for wealth, puts you in that positive, receptive state where you actually notice the opportunities. And he also pushes that acting as if practice. Make decisions from a place of already having abundance.
And let's quickly revisit Silva's 3-scene technique as another practical tool.
All right. Relax into alpha state first, then create those 3 vivid scenes of already having the money, feeling the good feelings, project them out, ask for help from higher intelligence or the universe, whatever term works for you. And then this is key, let go, detach from the outcome.
Trust the process. And Wayne Dyer's 10 steps also offer concrete actions. We don't need to list all 10, but some key ones.
Definitely things like actively seeing the world as abundant, affirming abundance is who you are, staying in that state of allowing, using the present moment for positive thoughts, taking actions that support feeling abundant.
Remember, your prosperity helps others. Monitoring your emotions as guidance, being generous, meditating on your inner spirit as the source, and of course, gratitude. Always gratitude.
It's a really comprehensive list of practices. It shows there are many ways to actively cultivate this state.
We've busted 5 big myths. Now let's connect these spiritual ideas even more explicitly to the science, how our brains actually play a role in all this.
Yeah, this is where it gets really fascinating because your brain isn't trying to sabotage you. It's just running the programs you've given it, and we can give it new instructions.
So first up, the RAS, the reticular activating system.
Right. Think of your RAS as your brain's built-in search filter, like Google for your reality. Whatever you consistently tell it is important, whatever you focus on, it goes out and finds more evidence of that in your world.
So if I'm always thinking I never have enough, my RAS is going to be really good at spotting bills, noticing lack, highlighting what I can't afford.
Pretty much. It filters your perception to match your dominant beliefs. It's not that abundance isn't there, maybe, but your filter is set to lack.
But the flip side is we can change the filter settings.
Exactly. That's the empowering part. When you consciously, intentionally start focusing on thoughts like, money flows to me, I see opportunities everywhere, I am supported, your RAS starts searching for that. It begins highlighting synchronicities, ideas, resources that match the new instructions.
So it's less magic, more
Mm.
neuroperception,
Mm.
training your brain to see what's already potentially there.
That's a great way to put it. You're refining your ability to perceive abundance.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Dopamine.
Ah, the feel-good chemical.
Well, yes, but it's also huge for motivation and reinforcing behavior. When you acknowledge and genuinely celebrate those small wins we talked about, finding change, getting a discount, that unexpected refund,
Yeah.
your brain releases dopamine. It feels good, and that signals to your brain, hey, this noticing abundance thing, it's good, do more of that. It builds momentum. It rewards the pattern.
So celebrating finding a dollar isn't silly. It's actually training your brain to look for more dollars.
Kind of. It's reinforcing the positive pathway. Okay, now let's talk about predictive coding. This is really cool.
Okay.
Your brain isn't just passively receiving information, it's constantly predicting what's going to happen next based on all your past experiences and beliefs. It makes a guess, and then it checks reality against the guess.
Huh. So if my deep down prediction is money is hard to come by.
Then your brain will tend to filter your experiences to confirm that prediction. It might unconsciously downplay opportunities or interpret neutral events negatively because that matches the expected pattern.
We can change the predictions.
Yes, that's where affirmations and visualizations come in again. When you consistently practice thinking and feeling money comes easily, I am abundant, you're feeding your brain new data. You're actively building a new predictive model. It starts to update its expectations.
So affirmations aren't just wishful thinking. They're like installing new predictive software.
That's a fantastic analogy. You're retraining your brain to anticipate and therefore perceive a different reality. And finally, something often overlooked, the nervous system.
Right. Safety.
Huge. Your body needs to feel safe to receive. If you're constantly stressed about money, you're likely in some level of fight or flight or maybe freeze.
Survival mode.
Exactly. And in survival mode, your energy is all about protection, closing down. not openness, not receptivity.
So things like grounding, deep breathing, time, and nature,
Yeah.
they're not luxuries.
Not at all. They are abundance activators. They help shift your nervous system out of threat response and into a state of safety and regulation, what's often called the ventral vagal state. That's the state where you feel safe enough to open up, connect, and receive.
So feeling lazy or overwhelmed might just be nervous system burnout. And resting is actually productive for manifesting.
It absolutely can be. Okay, so we've touched on both the spiritual side and the science side. Let's just briefly connect those dots again.
Yeah, it's amazing how they often point in the same direction, isn't it? Take the RAS, that brain filter.
Right. Focus on lack. You see lack everywhere.
Focus on abundance, opportunities start popping out. It perfectly matches that spiritual idea.
Yeah.
What you focus on expands. Your brain literally helps create that reality by filtering your perception.
And dopamine. Celebrating small wins feels good because it releases dopamine.
Which motivates you. It builds momentum, just like building vibrational momentum. Each small win, each moment of feeling good, reinforces the pattern neurologically and energetically.
Makes total sense. And predictive coding. How our expectations shape what we perceive.
Yeah, if you deeply expect struggle, your brain kind of looks for evidence to confirm that.
Yeah.
But things like affirmations, visualization, they help rewrite those expectations over time. You're essentially training your brain to predict and therefore perceive abundance instead.
Creating a new internal model.
Exactly. And finally, that nervous system piece. So important.
Feeling safe to receive.
Yes. If you're constantly stressed about money, you're in survival mode. Not exactly open and receptive, right?
Yeah.
Practices like grounding, breath work.
Yeah.
They calm the nervous system,
Create that felt sense of safety.
which is fundamental. It allows you to actually be in a state where you can receive more easily.
Let's look at how we actually tune ourselves to that frequency of abundance.
Yeah, I love that analogy. Abraham Hicks uses the vibrational tuner, like we have this internal dial.
Exactly. And it needs to be set to the frequency of our inner being because, according to them, our inner being, our core self, is always broadcasting prosperity, well-being. It's always on that channel.
So our job is just to tune in, to align our personal receiver with that signal that's already there.
Pretty much. And a big part of that tuning process is giving up what Abraham calls arguing for your limitations.
Oh, right. All those reasons we give ourselves and maybe others why we can't have what we want. I can't afford it. I've never been able to. It's just too hard.
Every time we do that, we're basically reinforcing the limitation. We're actively mistuning our dial, turning it towards static.
It's such a common habit, isn't it? We get used to our current reality, even if it's not what we want, and we almost defend it without realizing.
But Abraham reminds us our current situation is just temporary. It's a reflection of past vibrations. Our real earning potential, they say, comes from our vibrational balance, our overall mood, our attitude.
Wayne Dyer puts this so simply, doesn't he? Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change.
It's a classic. He really connects our experience of abundance to our perception, our view of ourselves, and our view of that field of intention, that universal creative source.
He contrasts our often limited, scarcity-based view with the nature of this field, right? Which he sees as constantly giving limitless supply.
Yes. And he points out that focusing on wanting more money actually reinforces the feeling of not having it now. It keeps us locked in scarcity.
Whereas if we can shift to align with the feeling of I have enough or I am abundance,
that opens the door energetically for more to flow in. It's about aligning with the feeling state first.
and Jose Silva, with his method, gives us a practical way into that receptive state, the Silva Ultramind method.
Right, emphasizing getting into that relaxed alpha brainwave state, using his centering exercise, because that slower brainwave frequency is linked to creativity, intuition, accessing the subconscious, which Silva saw as key for manifestation.
So the common thread here seems to be shifting our internal state. Whether it's through belief work, changing perception, or specific relaxation techniques, it's all about tuning that inner frequency.
Definitely. Shall we try another brief guided moment, focusing on setting that tuner?
Let's do it. Okay, find a comfortable spot again. Maybe close your eyes if that feels good. Take a slow, deep breath.
Imagine somewhere inside you there's a dial, like on an old radio, your abundance tuner.
Maybe right now it feels a little fuzzy, some static. Worries about money, maybe.
Gently, in your mind, begin to turn that dial. Notice the static lessen.
Keep turning. Imagine moving past frequencies of maybe doubt or neutrality.
Until you land on a clear, strong signal, a resonant station. This is the frequency of ease, of joy, abundant possibility.
What does that clear signal feel like? Maybe it's contentment, excitement, just a quiet knowing that everything's okay.
Feel that clear vibration in your body, a gentle hum of well-being. You've intentionally tuned yourself to abundance.
Take another deep breath, anchoring that clear signal inside. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes, bringing that feeling of resonance with you.
Lovely. So recapping this bit, attracting abundance is about aligning our own energy with the natural prosperity that's already within us and around us. It involves letting go of limitations, shifting perception, and using techniques to get into that receptive state.
Right. So in our next section, let's get into some really practical ways to build and maintain this state, laying those new pathways.
Okay, this brings us to that great analogy from Abraham Hicks, laying new pipes for abundance.
Right. They talk about our old negative patterns around money, like clogged pipes.
And what's really key is their point that trying to force the unclogging, focusing directly on the blockage, that can sometimes make it worse.
Because you're still giving energy to the problem, like stirring up mud.
Exactly. So instead of fixating on the clog, they introduce the idea of the high-flying disc.
That state of really positive emotion, right? High vibration,
Yeah.
like pure joy or enthusiasm.
Yeah, those moments where you just feel genuinely good, maybe first thing in the morning before the day gets complicated, or when you're laughing really hard, just pure high vibe feeling.
And the advice is to really milk those moments.
Yes.
Savor them.
Yes. Immerse yourself in that feeling. And that's the state from which you do the work of laying new pipes, creating new positive thought patterns about abundance. Any conscious effort to shift your thinking is way more effective from that positive place.
It's about being aware of your vibrational output, isn't it? And consciously choosing it. Abraham gives that rule of thumb.
Right. The better we feel, the more we would milk it. The worse we feel, the more we would try to ignore it. Or gently shift focus, not wallow.
So our attention is key. Going back to the pipes analogy, attention keeps both the wanted and unwanted pipes open.
Exactly. Focus on lack. You keep that pipe flowing. Shift your focus consistently to what you do want. And the unwanted pipes can kind of clog up naturally from neglect, lack of attention.
Joe Dispenza's work fits right in here, too, with the idea of rewiring the brain.
Absolutely. He talks about how our thoughts literally create our reality over time. So we need to consciously shift from those habitual lack-based thoughts to thoughts of abundance.
And meditation is a key tool for him to quiet the old patterns and plant new beliefs.
Yes, and visualization too, really seeing wealth flowing in and crucially feeling the positive emotions that go with it.
That feeling as if part seems critical across the board. Feeling like you already have it sends that powerful signal out.
Definitely. It tells your body, your subconscious, and the universe, this is my reality now.
Okay, let's try one more visualization, focusing on laying these new pathways. Find your comfortable position again, maybe close your eyes. Take a deep, easy breath.
Imagine inside you a network. Pipes representing the flow of abundance. Maybe some look a bit old, narrow, blocked even.
Now in your mind, start laying new pipes right alongside them. These new ones are clear, wide, maybe glowing with a warm golden light.
See them connecting directly to an infinite source, limitless abundance.
Watch as wealth, joy, opportunity flow easily through these new open channels, effortlessly.
With each breath, feel these new pathways getting stronger, more established, becoming the main routes for abundance in your life.
Feel that sense of relief, maybe excitement, as this clear, easy flow begins.
Take another deep breath, really anchoring this image of clear, flowing abundance. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes, knowing you're actively creating these new energetic pathways.
That felt quite powerful, creating new possibilities. So, recapping this segment, we looked at practical ways to shift focus and build positive momentum, using high-vibe moments, laying new thought patterns, and being mindful of where our attention goes.
So bringing it all together, your RAS filters what you see based on focus. Dopamine rewards noticing abundance, predictive coding shapes your expectations, and a regulated nervous system creates the safe space to receive.
Wow, it really does bridge the science and the spirit. It's about safety, focus, feeling good now.
Exactly. Okay, so we've busted the myths, we've looked at the science now for the really practical stuff. How do you apply this day to day?
Yeah, let's get into some actionable tips. What can people start doing, like, today?
Okay, a few ideas from my side. First, really practice that micro manifesting. Make it a game. Actively look for and acknowledge every single bit of money or value that come your way. Found change. Celebrate. Got a free coffee? Awesome. Small discount. Yes. Notice it. Feel grateful for it.
I like that. Lowers the pressure, makes it fun.
Second, maybe create a wallet of abundance. Doesn't have to be your actual wallet. Could be a little box or pouch. Put affirmations in there. Maybe symbolic $100 bill if that feels good. A note to your future abundant self, something tangible to focus your energy on.
A physical anchor. Nice.
And third, if you like more structured tools, try a focus wheel specifically on financial ease. It's a great way to deliberately shift your thoughts from lack to possibility in a really focused way.
Okay, those are great. From my end, I'd suggest scheduling a regular money date.
Ooh, tell me more.
Once a week, maybe. Set aside some quiet time, make a nice tea, candle, whatever feels calm, and just look at your finances. No judgment, no panic, just awareness. Build a relationship with your money that isn't based on fear. Get conscious about it.
That's powerful, taking the charge out of it.
Yeah. And another one, a journaling prompt, something like, if I had an extra, say, $500 to spend today, joyfully and aligned, what would I do? Get specific. Feel the feeling of spending it with ease and delight. It connects you to the feeling of having enough and clarifies what abundance means to you.
Love that. It connects you to your values, too. All great practical ways to start shifting things.
Okay, so to wrap all this up in an experiential way, let's do one final guided visualization. The energetic bank deposit. So find that comfortable space one last time. Gently close your eyes if you wish.
Take a slow, deep breath. As you exhale, just let your body relax completely. Deeper this time.
Imagine yourself standing inside a beautiful bank. But it's not made of brick and mortar, it's radiant, energetic. A sacred space for vibrational currency.
Step up to the counter. Feel clear about the kind of financial well-being you are truly ready for now.
With focused intention, make an energetic deposit of clarity into your account. Feel your energy sharpen, become more focused as you do.
Now make a deposit of pure joy. Imagine abundance feeling light, fun, easy. Feel that joyful energy radiating as you deposit it.
And finally, deposit a deep sense of alignment. That feeling of harmony between your desires and your beliefs about what's truly possible for you.
Feel your energetic balance rising with each deposit. The bank around you glows brighter.
Imagine your own inner being, or maybe a wise guide, stepping forward. Placing a gentle hand on your heart, whispering,
The universe has gratefully received your deposit. Your energetic account is now overflowing with potential.
Take a deep breath in. Feel this wealth of positive energy circulating through you. A river of possibility flowing towards manifestation.
When you're ready, imagine stepping back from the counter. Feeling lighter, fuller, knowing you've set powerful things in motion.
Gently bring your awareness back. Maybe wiggle your fingers and toes. And when you feel ready, open your eyes, carrying this feeling of energetic abundance with you. Remember, you are worthy. Money is just one expression of that. Abundance is on its way. You just made a powerful deposit.
That really ties it all together beautifully.
It does, doesn't it? You know, it really strikes me that maybe money just reflects what we believe we're ready for, what we're ready to receive. And I really hope after exploring all this that you listening feel, well, more ready. The power really is in shifting that focus, aligning that vibration.
Absolutely. Money doesn't define you. It reveals what you're ready, truly ready to receive. And today, you've declared your readiness energetically.
We'd really love to hear from you. Which of these myths maybe hit a nerve? Or which reframe felt like a real aha moment? Let us know in the comments. Send us a message. Or hey, share this deep dive if you know someone who might be ready to rewrite their money story too.
Yeah, we'd love that.
We'll see you next time
See you then.
on Vibrations and Manifestations.
Bye.